What's good, y'all? It's your boy Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and I'd like to walk you to a brand new type of video. Welcome to Rorvis Rankings, baby. So this is where I'm going to be ranking whatever, honestly, but right now I will be ranking Kendrick Lamar albums. This is my rankings, my reasonings, and y'all gonna get that right now. Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, he is my favorite active rapper. Top three, if not top one all time for me. He has never made an album, the same album twice. I think I know I've enjoyed every single project just because Kendrick Lamar, like rare legendary artists like Outkast, like Kanye West, they have never made the same project. Always bring something new, something invigorating, always trying to one up themselves, always bring something different, new life experiences, and just continue to grow and take risk. And that's what Kendrick Lamar does. He makes albums for him and not for his audience. And what I mean by that is the audience doesn't know what they want from an artist. They think they know what they want from the artist, and sometimes it takes for the artist to go on a limb and create something that could be considered risky to create something legendary, something masterful. So that's why I had to do this, and it took me some time, so I had to really lock in and craft this list. So let's keep in mind, I'm saying albums, no Black Panther album. As much I love the Black Panther soundtrack, not enough Kendrick Lamar, even though he curated it, but no, that does not count. Overly dedicated, that doesn't count either. That's a mixtape. We're only talking about albums. Are we good? Huh? Great. Okay, so the first one we're gonna talk about that, like, I don't really consider a full-length project from him, but I am going to talk about it, is Untitled Unmastered. Now, Untitled Unmastered is basically a bunch of throwaways of songs that didn't really make the cut for To Pimp a Butterfly. And some people, this is one of their favorite Kendrick projects. Not all time, but like it's at least a top 3, top 4 for a lot of people. But for me, I just can't have it that high. It's barely on the list. It's hanging on. It's hanging on to this list. But I just want to talk about it because even though it's throwaways, they are some phenomenal throwaways, like Untitled 2, Untitled 7. There's a couple of tracks on here. It's just like the performance is phenomenal, instrumentation is crazy, production is nice. It's a solid small project, but it's just not a full-length album from him. So like I just can't compare it to the others. It just can't. I do not feel bad, do not feel sorry. Like, just can't do it. Cannot do it. So now let's get to the real part of the rankings, which is number 6, Section 80. Now, this is the foundation for Kendrick Lamar. This is studio. This is like his debut on TDE with a real album. But this is the album that gets forgotten about because a lot of people think his first album is Good Kid, Mad City, which is like his major label debut under Interscope, and Aftermath with Dr. Dre. But like, it's not a bad album. I think it's a phenomenal foundation, and I feel like this album, people would treat it kind of like how, if you're an anime fan, like with JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, this is JoJo's Part 1. And it's the foundation, you should respect it. But a lot of people already got a taste of Good Kid, Mad City, which would be like the stands, right? So why go backwards and hype up something that doesn't have something more cooler in essence, right? But Section 80 has great storytelling. It has great rapping. Production is still solid as well. Standout tracks like ADHD, Ronald Reagan era, Rigor Mortis, High Power. I think everything with this project was going to show you that Kendrick Lamar was going to be one of them ones. It's just this was the first hint that like there's something there and there's something grander. But like I think a lot of people do not appreciate this album, and if you do, you're one of those rare few that like this. If you do respect this project to the utmost degree, you might have it top 3. I've heard some people say this is their favorite Kendrick album. I've heard it. So, but for me, I think it's solid. But like, I think from here forth, Kendrick just became a better rapper, a better artist. Beat selections were better. I think everything online just gets better. It's just like I can't. It's not like some other projects where their first album is just so far ahead and it's like, no, this is not one of those rare instances. Section 80 is gonna be my least favorite album from Kendrick Lamar on paper, and not in a mean way. It just has to be it. Going into number 5, we have Damn. And I know this is going to hurt some people, but for me, like I said, Kendrick has he has one of the best discographies in hip hop, in my opinion. And Damn, unfortunately, is going to be ranked number 5. This is the first album this is where the album where Kendrick really, will be the first album Kendrick's trying to tell y'all that he's just human, right? Because I feel at a certain point with Good Kid, Mad City, he became like the new champ, right? And then with To Pimp a Butterfly, people were looking at him like he was a prophet, like he was going to tell you something and teach you something, when he was literally telling you in T-Pap that like he has issues and things going on and he's just trying to get better. But with Damn, he's like, dude, shit's not sweet. I still got issues. I got fears from when I was 7, when I was 17, from when I'm 27 right now. He's dealing with a whole bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, what I love about Damn would be his graduation. Damn is his Stank On Ya. Damn is the album where he doesn't stop being himself, but this one will be his first truly mainstream appeal, especially with all the songs charting. That was the first time for him that every single one of his songs on the project charted the Billboard charts. And I'm not even a Billboard type of guy, but that goes to show you the encapsulation of how grand it was. Kendrick can be himself and make the radio friendly songs. You know, there were so many songs that got heard on the radio with tracks like Humble, like with Loyalty. Like there's so many that like it just made sense. Production was just like high. I think production on here is really solid because there were some times that he's getting to different beat pockets, different producers that he hasn't worked with before, but he still has some like other things that like took it to another level. Production on like Triple X is like 3-beat song. I know everybody likes to talk about what's that? Sicko Mode. Which is, I understand why you would think so highly about that. But like, Triple X is up there too with just how melancholy and the different energies that come off of this track. So like, I think the production was outstanding. Lyricism, the rapping, bar none, like Kendrick was on that with here, especially with songs like Fear, with Duckworth, the storytelling. Like, this album is understandable why some people have it top 3, or even this is their favorite Kendrick Lamar album. I understand it, but for me, that's just not the case. So standout tracks I would like to talk about are Fear, Duckworth, DNA, Element, Triple H, Phil, even Humble. But Humble was just like so like major. Like, I don't feel like I truly have to talk about it, but I feel like that was the instance that he was letting y'all know that this project was not going to be the same as previous. Like, he came up to bat looking to knock it out the park in a different way that he's done it before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting Damn at 5, unfortunately. But y'all still, some of y'all about to be mad. At number 4, It's Good Kid, Mad City. I'm sorry. It's Good Kid, Mad City, and it pains me to say this because Good Kid, Mad City, I remember first time getting the first time I heard it because I got it as a bootleg CD. So RA was off to a funny start with this album, but Good Kid, Mad City is just such a great album. It's already classic, by the way, so I don't need to argue this. But Good Kid, Mad City being the story of Kendrick Lamar in his adolescence, it's like listening to a movie. The production is good, but I feel like compared to post this, like I feel like some tracks the production is stellar. In other cases, I feel like he grew as an artist. I feel like after this, there's certain niches that you could tell that he's in the booth with the not in the booth. He's in the studio with his producers and really curating with them, and not just kind of like having them lead him in certain spots. It feels like he knew what he wanted his sound to go on, to be going forward. But like, it's not bad on here, but it's just like there's certain parts where like I think Kendrick, number one, I feel like the deluxe edition had a song that I think fits better than what was already on there. Like Compton is not a bad song, it's a good song, but as a closer track, it's kind of weak to me. I feel like this is probably his weakest closer track, so I might have to do a video about his closing tracks or just do a little reel, who knows. But there are parts where just like Black Boy Fly is probably one of my favorite bonus tracks ever, and I feel like that's a better closer to an album like Good Kid, Mad City, you know, to not be the last black boy to file Compton, you know, the last one to be to say they made it, or not even just say, but made it. I think that it's a solid and classic album, and I think it's a great listen, but I feel like he just got better in some aspects. But like I appreciate it a little bit more than Damn as a whole and what it meant, not just to me but to Kendrick Lamar. This is solidified him as next guy up, and for going on and so forth, that this was going him proving that he's the best rapper alive. So at number 4 it's gonna be Good Kid, Mad City, and my standout tracks, of course, Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst, one of the best storytelling songs ever. Mad City, Money Trees, Backstreet Freestyle, Art of Peer Pressure. Like Good Kid, Mad City, this is the scapegoat answer for number 1 for Kendrick Lamar, and I think it's the easy answer, but I don't think that's I know it's not I know it's not my answer for my number 1, and I'm okay with that. And I need y'all not to mob against me, okay? Are we cool? Can you put your pitchforks down? Great. All right. At number 3, already gonna be a little controversial, but at number 3 is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is Kendrick Lamar's most personal album. This is a therapy session. What I loved about this album is how it shook a lot of people up, because with Damn, it highlighted how human he was, and like not only did Mr. Morale continue that, he put his foot down. Like he stood 10 toes down, like, yo, I have issues, I'm going through some shit, and I processed it, and now I'm here to tell you about certain things that might be me talking about you, that you're also going through. And a lot of people were scared to relate to it now, at that moment. I knew off instant like this was gonna be one of them ones. I knew that like this is a special album, but a lot of people were saying they didn't like it. But like as the years have gone by, I have noticed a lot of people are being more appreciative of Mr. Morale because of how much it highlights the human experience, especially for certain black people. The issue with tracks like Father Time, analyzing, going through and having daddy issues, and having to be hyper masculine to avoid emotions, and not able to process your own emotions, being able to move forward and not even think about what you just experienced, but on to the next type of thing. When you get to tracks like Mother I Sober, which is one of the most gut-wrenching and emotional songs that I ever heard, like what he's piecing together in in that song is just, that shit's just beautiful. And having the lead singer from Portishead on there singing beautifully on there is just, oh my god. And then the rapping on here tied with the storytelling, this is, Kendrick Lamar just continues to grow at each aspect. The production was outstanding in a lot of areas, and then there were some ones where he's taking some risk with the production, how things are sounding. I think with this double disc album, even though it's not a lot of tracks, it definitely feels like two different projects when you think about it, with the Big Steppers coming first and then Mr. Morale being like the bringing the bravado, the hyper masculine, the toxicness first to show you the transition, and with the features from like to highlight those points with Kodak Black being what he's known for, and then having Baby King, who doesn't really have no ill intentions, but like is going through something like Kendrick, which you can hear in Casino, but like it's his own thing, but like he's just processing it all, and then you can see the different sides of the projects. My personal favorite probably lean more towards Miss Morale, with all my favorite songs being more towards there than it is the Big Steppers. But Big Steppers is crazy too. He's like boom in your face, you know, there's certain brashness to it, and then the other side it's a little bit more emotional depth. But like then you get crazy tracks like We Cry Together with the Alchemist production, this argument that is between a couple, and like I know this song threw a lot of people off, but in my mind, I had family friends that my parents' family friends, people that like to try to call themselves uncle or auntie, all that type of shit. I've seen that type of argument with like people like that, where it's just toxic and it's just like brutal back and forth, but like then they're just cool afterwards, and you just stay out the mess because you don't want to step on a landmine when it comes to that and don't be targeted by them. A lot of people felt some type of way because either they have experienced that with some familiarity like around them, or that's them. A lot of this project is people didn't want to relate to certain shit because it was happening in real time, and they weren't trying to process it. They were trying to ignore it. But Mr. Morale, I feel like it's just therapeutic, not just for Kendrick Lamar, but for a lot of people. Like the song Crown means something to me because it's simple but very effective with, you can't please everybody. You can't. And I feel like one of those moments is hard because you, like for me, you want to shine. You want to be the best you could be because people got expectations of you. And sometimes you have to take a step back and realize, I can't be who you want me to be. I can only be myself. And that means that I gotta choose me. I gotta choose me and understand that I'm not about to break my back and stress myself out for not being who you expect, what you expect from me, what you expect me to be. And that goes into songs like Mirror. And it's just like, I feel like that's one of Kendrick's best closer, because it's simply just saying, I choose me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not about to do any more. It's just, I love this project. And then that every time I listen to it, it doesn't just bring me back to anything. It just continues to feel like I'm getting better as a person, honestly. So standout tracks from Mr. Morale: Crown, Mother I Sober, Father Time, Mirror, Savior, We Cry Together. Like this album is truly impressive, and I want more and more people to be more willing to listen to it again. I feel like the more you listen to it, the more that it highlights how incredible, not just what Kendrick Lamar is, but like, I think there's a lot to it that a lot of people are trying to brush off. I think it's very excellent on all fronts from Kendrick Lamar. So that's my number 3. At number 2, GNX. Now, GNX is a crazy album, and I know it's early for me to say this, but like, already one of my favorite albums. I have listened to this album so much since 2024. Like, even with 2025, this is probably one of my most listened to albums. Easily, already. The production is crazy. It's a compact album with only 11 tracks, but it's hit after hit after hit. And what's really cool about this project, this is the first time Kendrick is in present time. What do I mean by that? All of his projects, these are lived experiences. he's like took time to gone through, and we're hearing the aftermath. Good Kid, Mad City. This is his lore. To Pimp a Butterfly, his experience of coming into fame and him getting some self-realization there. You get Dan, where he's like, bro, I've been going through issues, still going through issues from T-Path from previous time, and you know, I'm kind of getting over my letting down my sister, letting her become an early teen mom, but like my niece is loving me, she's seeing me on TV, all that, right? And then so on and so forth. But this time, this is present. This is him talking about like before he's about to perform for the Super Bowl. This is him just like talking about why he feels like he deserves it all, why he should be the GOAT. This is him just talking his shit, and like everything was just phenomenal. Production is outstanding on this project. This is some of the best beats he's ever rapped on. This is some of the most energetic music that he's rapped on. This is Damn, but on crack. Like if Damn was the album that kind of like solidified his mainstream appeal to more people, what GNX did, oh my god. I'm talking about like being, I hate the essence of if you can't play this in the club, then it's not banging. But I've been in the club and I heard GNX tracks go back to back to back to back, and nobody is stopped dancing, nobody's mad, nothing. Like, and I've heard it outside, I'm hearing on the radio, I'm hearing it everywhere. GNX was impeccable in impact instantly. Features are phenomenal, rapping's phenomenal, production, like I don't know what else to tell you. Like this was, I don't know how Kendrick did it. Like Kendrick literally made musical crack for me, basically. Like I still to this day can't stop listening to the tracks. So like I'll be at work and you're like, you know what, I know I heard this week, go ahead and play it from the top, and then everything Kendrick said about Damn, because he said previously in an interview for the press run for Damn, he said Damn was his best album because it incorporates everything from his previous albums, which is true in essence. But I think GNX does that to the 11th degree. Like GNX has the storytelling, it has the rapping, it has fun. It's just a fun project in some aspects. And like a lot of Kendrick projects, they're so, I hate to say serious, but that's what it is, because it's not no games with Kendrick Lamar with his previous projects, and it's still no games here, but like he just sounds happier. He just feels like he got more bravado to him. Like his chest is bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like he's puffing out his chest and he's talking his shit. Rightfully so. We know what 2024 was, so we don't really have to get into it. And like for him to just like drop this with no promo or anything, like a minute snippet of a video of a track, then drop the album like 30 minutes later, I couldn't even listen to it off of first rip because I was at work, but my phone is fucking blowing up. Zzzz, 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 zzzz. He dropped. Pac is back. I got home from work, I was like, oh my god, bro. Tracks like Reincarnated, TV Off, Peekaboo, Man in the Garden, Swabble Up, all the album, but these tracks right here, nigga, I fucking lost it. I was like, bro, what the fuck is he on? Dude, GNX is just such an incredible album, and I know it's early. It hasn't even been a full 2 years yet. But like off instant, I knew this was gonna be one of my favorites. Now I'm not calling it classic. I didn't call Mr. Morale classic. But GNX, it has everything it needs to become classic in the next few years. I'm thinking like early prediction, people are gonna call GNX. People are gonna realize how crazy GNX is if they haven't already. And it will be one of the ones. So like I understand there's gonna be a few people early that this is gonna be their favorite Kendrick album. There's gonna be. And if not, at minimum, they're gonna say top 3. But for me, it's past just top 3. It's at number 2. And if you couldn't tell already, at number 1, we have To Pimp a Butterfly, one of my favorite albums of all time. This album is a masterpiece. It's unapologetically black with the production, the insane production, like the different feels with the jazz to the spoken word essence to the funk. Like, this album is just top to bottom impeccable. I feel like the rapping performance is just, this is truly a magnum opus for Kendrick Lamar. Like, I feel like time freezes with this album, but at the same time, a lot of the topics within it are timeless because there's still such relatable issues, you know, feeling like a failure, trying to uplift your community, trying to get better, and trying to hold on to the wealth that you create for yourself and not just throw it around willy-nilly. And not, you know, why is this homeless man begging me for $1? Like, bro, I earned this shit. Like, nigga, get up, you bum. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different tracks where Kendrick is just rapping from the, he's always rapped from the heart, but there's certain ones that, like, he really dug deep. Like, You is crazy. Like, that self analyzation and like that just withdrawal of pain towards what you're going through, feeling like he has a survivor's guilt. This is what he's going through. Like, he's losing homies left and right, and he's over here on tour making all these money, getting all these accolades, while the people back home are still suffering. It's kind of fucked up what he's going through, you know? And it's just like, I feel like this is just, oh my god, like with standout tracks like How Much a Dollar Costs, Hood Politics, Alright, come on, we already know what Alright is. Like, Alright, he wasn't I think with Kendrick, especially on this album, he was not trying to be the savior, even though he feels like he has a certain responsibility being a top artist and be able to speak on things. But like, he was just highlighting things, and because he was saying that, like, simply put, we gonna be alright, we gonna move forward, we shall overcome, it was easy for people to gravitate towards that and utilize that for that Black Lives Matter movement at that time. Then you get into tracks like Black of the Berry, which is just like, like, Black of the Berry is so insane because, like, it's just simple things. Well, not even simple things. It's because, like, the way he's, like, being so brash about being black and being, there's such pride in it. Such pride in it. Like, sane level pride about being black is on Black of the Berry. And when you get to points where he's like, I'm black as the name of Tyrone Darius, excuse my French, but fuck you, no, fuck y'all, that is blunt as it gets. And then you look up the historical point, Tyrone and Darius are not black names, but because of the framing and the imaging and the stereotyping done by white America to black people, people think black with Tyrone, they think black with Darius. Neither of them have black origins, but they've been thrown onto us, and now it just goes on and so forth. I talked about To Pimp a Butterfly before previously, so if you want more details, watch that video, because listen to that video, because like I literally, like, I put too much time in that video. Watch that. That was like, I think that was like an hour long. So like right here, right here, click this link for you can watch that. But to get back, To Pimp a Butterfly is incredible. I think it just, and I know for some people it goes the top two answers for Kendrick Lamar by a high percentage is either your favorite is Good Kid, Mad City, or your favorite is To Pimp a Butterfly. And I lean towards the To Pimp a Butterfly side. Like I said, I love Good Kid, Mad City. I think it's a classic, but like, I think he just got better in a lot of aspects. I think I do appreciate more of his post Good Kid, Mad City albums more. Now it does beat out Damn just slightly, because that was hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Damn and Good Kid, Mad City is closer than a lot of people would admit to. But with To Pimp a Butterfly, I feel like it's clear cut his best album. It's my favorite album. It's number one without a doubt. Now, this has been Rorvis rankings of Kendrick Lamar albums. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Did you like? comment, subscribe, do something to interact. Give me some ideas. Did y'all appreciate this? Should I do another artist? Should I do a franchise? Should I do a director? What do y'all want? Let me know if this was the vibes. And hey, what are your top 3 Kendrick albums? Can you let me know in the comments below what your top 3 Kendrick albums? I would love to hear. I would love to discuss. I know mine was a little different compared to many others, but hey, that's why we do it, baby. So this has been Rorvis Rankings. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the IG, subscribe to the Twitter, subscribe to wherever you can find me. And shout out to my main man Mingo, that's my dog. I appreciate you for creating this thumbnail. Shout out to Corbin Stuman for always making these beats for the intros and just music background music. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Peace.